Sure is dark in here. Oh, hello. Welcome back to Easy Health and Fitness, Torah Health and Fitness. Yes, I am in an unusual location I'm not usually broadcasting from. It's a hotel room, 5-hour drive to hopefully experience the Yad Hashem. As the Chavetz Chaim said, it's a mitzvah to go see an eclipse, to remind us that the sun is not an ultimate power, that the sun can be covered by the moon. This is what Avram Avinu understood when he was a child, and why he understood that when the Babylonians were worshiping the sun, that was sheker. And we have to remember this. It's a wonderful thing to have this physical, visible reminder. But I've heard people say that, it's okay to take these glasses off in the moment of totality. And actually that's quite risky. And I would, we have to be so careful. I would recommend not taking them off. If you're hearing this or watching this before the eclipse, certainly if it's not a total eclipse, absolutely dangerous, and children must be protected because they don't know this. And because what happens is when the sun is 90% covered, if you did not wear glasses, you'd think you could look at it because it's 90% covered, 95% covered, but actually that's the 5% that's visible, or even the 1% will burn the chas v'shalom, the retina. And the problem is that there's an eclipse that's called an annular eclipse where the moon is a little bit further away from us and the sun is not fully blocked, and those very, very small percentage of the rays that come out around the moon are also dangerous. And the third problem is that even in totality, if you manage to time it just right, so you take them off in totality, the moment that it passes totality is again sakana. So why take the risk? Just leave the glasses on. Don't ever look at the sun. Make sure children don't look at the sun. But the sun, is not just a sakana. We can't live without the sun. We spoke about this before, how we need the sun's rays, not just for our agriculture, but the sun gives us, when we have proper exposure, a vitamin that we cannot really get from food adequately, which is vitamin D. Without vitamin D, we would be more sick than we hopefully are. What does vitamin D do for us lately? Well, here's some examples. We put this in the chapter on vitamin D. We call it the sunshine vitamin. What are some examples of what vitamin D does for you if you have adequate vitamin D? Helps regulate your blood pressure, preventing multiple sclerosis, helping regulate insulin, which lowers the risk of diabetes, improves nerves and muscles and bone pain, supports neurological development of a child in the womb, inhibits the growth of at least 12 types of cancer. It helps your body process calcium and phosphorus, which is vital for strong bones and healing bones. And last but not least, vitamin D enables the production of T cells. These are your and my innate defenders against bacteria and viruses, including colds, flus, and COVID-19. It's interesting that people who are vitamin D deficient, according to Bar Ilan University, were 9 times more likely to be hospitalized for COVID-19. And there have been many, many studies to this effect, that a vitamin D deficiency seems to make a person very vulnerable to all kinds of illnesses. And most of us don't get enough from the sun. So every doctor I've ever asked says, routinely they want their patients to supplement vitamin D. They'll measure it, and if they're low, for sure they recommend they supplement it. If they are supplementing it, they don't measure it because they don't really need to, because the supplementing is generally found to be giving a person the levels that they need. And it's so cheap and so easy, just that one little pill a day or once a week, whatever your doctor prescribes. This is, of course, as usual, not medical advice. Consult with your own medical care professional. But since we're talking about eyes and talking about health, and talking about, we all want to have healthy eyes, one of the doctors who is in our book, Body and Soul, is listed in our medical advisory board, Dr. Michael Ellman. He's an assistant professor of ophthalmology at Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine. He's a world-known expert on eye care and on cataracts and macular degeneration, and he's published over 100 scientific articles on the eyes. And we have a quote. By the way, someone told me the other day that they don't have time to read the book, and I recommend that you don't read the book if you're that kind of person. Just use it as a reference. We put a fabulous index in the back, and you can just use it as a reference when you want to look up the subject. So you look up Dr. Ellman, and you will find a quote from him in which chapter? Not the vitamin D chapter, but not the eye chapter, because we don't have an eye chapter, but on the chapter under what foods we should be eating. Because if you ask any ophthalmologist or any optician, what is the most important diet for healthy eyes? Listen to what Dr. Ellman says. The single most important food for healthy eyes is leafy green vegetables. I tell my patients, either you work hard and give me less work, or you don't work hard and give me more work. Is that the message you expect to hear related to the solar eclipse? That we should be eating green vegetables? We all should be appreciating the wonders of nature. The eclipse is so wondrous because it happens so seldom. I suppose if it happened every day, I think Host Levavo says that we should be looking at every wonder of nature with such awe, not just these rare events, right? Our body and our immune system, our digestive system, etc., is such a wonder, and we actually have a bracha to capture that wonder. We say, "Asher yatzar Saddam b'chokma," you made a person with such chokma. Every day we have an opportunity multiple times to stop and just pause and have this great appreciation, this great awe, this great wonder that we have at the eclipse. Maybe the eclipses should give us all chizuk, that we should try to do the same every day, throughout the day, and to show our gratitude to Kadosh Baruch Hu for this body, to take the best care we can of it. Until next time, be gesund.